declared boldly as they choose to go their own way, the Bible's made up. Or so it is they like to say. But what if I told you that it isn't? Divinely inspired, a composite, a collection of 66 books written over 1,500 years in 3 different languages. In some way, somehow, this anthology that's full of theology is one complete narrative, despite being a collaborative effort. It's like 40 different authors, most many years apart, each wrote their own divinely inspired part, and they came back together to find all their chapters were tied by a tether. But how? How is that possible? Most people who aren't Christians, they'd probably say it isn't. So surely then these seemingly insufficient writings had to have initially been inconsistent, and later on at some distant time, they must have then become aligned? No, the Bible has been preserved unlike any other book. Just think back to your 11th grade reading nook. Plato, Aristotle, the Iliad too. There's just so much we never knew. We didn't question them while back in school, so the one who trusted the Bible was indeed labeled the fool. But the interesting reality is that scholars seem to show a lot of partiality. We've got more copies of the Bible than any of those philosophical works, yet somehow everybody gets hung up on what they think are the Bible's quirks, filled with prophecies and genealogies dismissed as mere hypotheses. Many think the Bible lacks support, but history, it's here to report. Despite the odds being slim, Jesus finds himself with the win. The odds of just one man fulfilling 8 of the Bible's prophecies is 1 in 10 to the 28th power. But Jesus, he fulfilled the 300th soon after what many thought was his final hour. Yeah, Jesus, he died on that cross for all our sin, even that of our thoughts. Criminals, they'd typically be thrown off a cliff, but Jesus, they couldn't get rid of him quite so swift. Honorably buried, as Isaiah said, the tomb was memorably empty. It included no dead. Nobody questions this reality, not even secular sources we'd expect to challenge its finality. You're probably familiar with this part of the story. It's the iconic John 3:16 moment. Some do indeed, they think it's obscene, regardless of the fact that history affirms all the Bible seems to mean. Do you actually know why you trust the book I just discussed? Well, we've all got a lot left to learn. We haven't passed the point of no return. This is Jesus' story, and it isn't intended to be discriminatory. Truly, truly, he says to you, his acceptance isn't given based off what you do or how much you know. And P.S. all have fallen short. So don't waste your breath with a prideful retort. The Bible's made up, or so it is they like to say. A common misconception, but perhaps with just a little more reflection, we'd be all the more prepared to gently unpack its reality on this very day.